Coach, maybe just to start, strong offensive performance on Saturday. Jamel Jones certainly looked strong at quarterback. What was your overall impression of Saturday's game?
I thought our guys did a really nice job of getting off to a good start. They were ready to play. They were excited to play. Really great way to start. As far as Jamel, he's been working the entire time that he's been, the third-team quarterback, and every day, even though he hadn't got as many reps, just really taking mental reps and paying attention in meetings with Coach Worley. And I wasn't surprised he played as well as he did. In terms of offensively, it was just good to see us take care of the football. We had the one, fumble that was a backwards pass that was disappointing, where we let a guy up the field in the throwing lane, and that can't happen. But I thought overall, with the guys that were in there playing, and some of them, getting some of their first reps of the season, I was excited to see the way we played.
How'd you feel the offensive line came back together? You got a couple of players returning from injuries. How did you feel the offensive line did?
Yeah, I thought we were improved. We definitely played faster than the previous week, and that was great to see. They were disappointed in the outcome of the game the week before. I think it showed by the way they prepared, and it carried over into the game. I thought we did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage, and we were very physical up front, and had a good day.
And looking at Louisiana Monroe, they played some very good teams early in Texas and Alabama, and some very competitive games against Coastal, and then last week's game against South Alabama. What do you see in their defense?
Well, I think they're very athletic, very active. They slide off blocks. They're tough to sustain blocks against. They're very active in the secondary. They have guys that'll take calculated chances there. It's going to be a great challenge for us just to keep them blocked and to limit the negative yardage plays, which they've really improved as of late. They're really knocking people off schedule, pretty well.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Ken McMillan, you can start off Zoom.
Hey, Brent, I'm on the record.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Brent, Jamel Jones obviously had a real nice last 2 weeks. I asked Coach Lunkin earlier today, what's your thought on riding the hot hand versus the guy that wins?
Yeah, I think it's practice means something, for sure. It absolutely does, and that's kind of what the way we approached last week was whoever we felt like prepared the best in practice was going to start. But all those guys have done good things, and the situation is going to be different every week, and so it's just going to be a week to week and situation to situation deal. I've told you guys all the time, we feel like we've got 4 guys that can execute, and we just so happens that we saw the third guy have a chance to get in there in extensive action last week, and really proud of how he played, and I thought Bryson did a good job when he came in as well. So having that depth is a great thing for us.
We saw it last year, but sometimes you get these quarterbacks who are dormant for a while. How difficult or how easy is it for someone like Jamel to step in the way he has and be effective?
Well, I think if you prepare like he has, then it's not as difficult. What's hard is to prepare every day like he has, and to stay engaged, and to continue to grind, and to prepare like you're the starter, even though you're not seeing the reps on Saturday. And that takes a lot of maturity. It takes a very unselfish nature. And he's done an awesome job with both those things. And I think when his opportunity came, I think he's made the most of it.
I think I asked you 2 weeks ago about young running backs and what their role might be. Well, out of necessity, you've had to get them in there.
Right.
Now that you've seen them for 2 good weeks here, what are your thoughts on the young players? Obviously, you'd like to get starters back, but what are your thoughts?
I think they're improving. I really do. I think that Coach Powers is doing a really nice job with them, just continuing to gain confidence in themselves, and fitting runs better that they may have missed the week before or the rep before, playing better without the ball, understanding where things fit around them, putting their eyes in the right place a lot better. We broke some tackles on Saturday, which was good to see. I think Markel Johnson broke 5 tackles, so that was great. Had some really nice runs. Hayden Reed ran hard. There were some good things, and I think it's incremental improvement there. I don't know if you're just going to arrive in 2 weeks or 10 carries or whatever. I think they're incrementally getting better and continuing to develop depth at that position, which is outstanding.
Last thing, Coach mentioned earlier, you had a couple former quarterbacks who made the adjustment to the offensive line this year. Shane Bellingham was one, and the main mistakes made. But how does that process happen? Do they ask, hey, Coach, can I play another position? Or do you look at their skill set and say, you know what, he might be good here, or here?
Yeah, so in Shane's case, Shane was a big quarterback, a 6'4", 235-pound quarterback who was just a really good athlete for his team, played at a high level of football down in Georgia, won 2 region championships as the quarterback, but he was never a polished quarterback necessarily. I think he'd take, but he was a really good athlete. He wasn't a bad quarterback, but he ran the power read and ran the quarterback power and threw it a little bit, but you could just tell that he had a lot of value going forward. And I thought it would be as a tight end. I didn't know that he would be 290 pounds, at this point, and he's got room for more. And really just, I think he's got a really high ceiling and very fluid, can bend, got really good hands as far as an offensive lineman is concerned. I think the biggest thing for him was obviously you got to gain the weight, but then you have to see yourself in that mindset. You really have to see yourself as an offensive lineman. You have to embrace being a fat guy. You got to embrace, just everything that comes with being an offensive lineman and being, in any offensive line, but here in the mob too. And so I think that he's definitely done that, and it's paid off. I'm excited for him to start to get back in there, and I think he's got a really high ceiling. And then Bo Lombardi was a state championship wrestler in Iowa and played quarterback. His brother's also a quarterback in college at Northern Illinois, a good quarterback. And Bo was so tough. We didn't think he was a quarterback, but Bo had to gain a lot more weight than Shane did probably. He may have been about 220 or so, wrestled in the 220-pound weight class, but tough and strong and really good balance. Wrestlers make really good offensive linemen because they've got low center of gravity and just really good balance and then just the mindset and so I think he's really continued to develop every year. He's not 6'4" like Shane, so he's got to be very fundamental, and he continues to get better with that. And so excited about him going forward as well. So.
But if I could just add, do you ask your players, especially in the off season, hey, is there another position you would like, or do you put them through skill test and say, hey, he'd be ideal for position A, B, or C? Do you do that throughout the team?
Yeah, when they first come in, Coach Monken has kind of got a policy of, hey, you can play wherever you want to try to play. At a certain point, there may come a point where we may say, hey, you have an opportunity to help the team at X position better than where you are right now. And some of them figure it out themselves and say, hey, Coach, I think I could be a really good B-back or whatever it might be, and they'll come and ask. But the guys we have here are they're willing to do what's best for the team. And that's in Shane's case. We knew he was going to tight end when he came here. He started his first day at tight end here, and we went to him eventually about moving to offensive line because we felt like he had a really good future there, and he was continuing to gain weight. He probably weighed 255 or 60 when we moved him. Now he's 290, and I think he's going to continue to get better. I really do.
Thanks, Brent.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Sal.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Sal. What's up, man?
Hey, you've been calling plays for a long time. I was wondering if you've ever had a first play go for a touchdown like you did on Saturday with Jamel. How rare is that, and what is the like maybe in the booth when that happens?
Well, we've had a few. Gosh, if you knew what play to call, that would go for a touchdown. We figured that out every week. It was just a base quarterback zone play, but really, it was just really well blocked. And the guys on the backside cut their guys to the ground, the left guard and the left tackle. And then Cole Catterbone made an unbelievable hustle play to kind of run his guy by. That was 50 yards down the field. It was a great run by Jamel. But the funny thing is, actually, the B-back kind of didn't fit it exactly right on the play, and Jamel found the hole. The B-back, he was supposed to have an extra blocker going in the hole that he ended up running it in, but the B-back didn't see it till late, so he was one blocker short, but it didn't matter. But it was, that was a great way to start, and great to see all our guys running down the field and celebrating together in the end zone. I mean, that's something we want to be a trademark of how we play on offense, and just that synergy that comes with celebrating with your teammates. That's really important to us.
No doubt. Just one more on A.J. Williams. I know he's a guy that you guys had a lot of hope for. He battled injuries. He got on the field on Saturday. Looked pretty good when he played. What did you think about him?
Yeah, I thought, his very first collegiate carry, the linebacker meets him right in the hole, and he gets his pads to 90 degrees and runs through him and continues on. And I thought it was a great way to start. He's been frustrated just because he's had a lot of setbacks, but he's got a lot of ability. He's really sudden. He's got like a 38-inch vertical at 240 pounds. That's pretty good. So we're excited about him going forward, and I think he'll just continue to get better. So honestly, just needs game reps.
Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Tom Shanahan, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, Coach Tom Shanahan.
Hey, Tom.
Markel Johnson had a big game. Talk about his protection coverage the rest of the way and his progress.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. One of my best friends was his high school coach, defense coordinator down at Liberty County, and kept talking to me about him, and we ended up signing him late in the signing process, really due to that's the first player my friends ever told me about. So he said, this guy I think can really help you, and he's a great human being. He just walked in the room, so I don't want him to hear me talking good about him, but he said he's tough, and he's a great character kid, and when we met him, it absolutely was the truth. And so I'm excited to see him get in there because he's battled through some injuries too, and just had some frustration. But we thought he'd be a slot back, and coming in, and it's kind of funny again. My buddy said he's a good football coach. He said, "Man, I think you might be able to play B-back." And I said, "Dang, you might be right." He kind of reminds me of a guy we had back at Georgia Southern, and so we tried to be back in the spring. We were decimated in the spring just with guys out for one reason or another, and dang if he didn't do a good job. And just he has a knack for finding seams. He's got really good balance, and so just he continues to get better without the ball. So just excited about him continuing to improve.
That's it for Coach. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
I was going to say the same thing for Jordan Ross since he's coming in tonight.
Yeah, Booby, he's got a high upside, and he's got a high ceiling, and he's got a couple more years with us, which is really exciting. He has really had a frustrating first part of the season, just being out, his ankle, and he was getting back, he had surgery, and then came back from that, was getting back to his old self, and got hurt in practice. So I'm glad he's back in there. Had his first start. That was good to see. He's a very fluid guy. Got good length. He and Shane Buckingham both are some of the taller tackles we've had, other than Brett Toth probably. But I think he's got a really high ceiling. Tom, he's just got to keep working and get stronger physically. But he's a fluid guy, a good athlete, and just continuing to develop.
That's it for Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.